It's another hot August day out today, and I have this bow. I only shot it a couple times. It's 62-inch fire hardened bow, and it's 35 at my draw length of 26.5, and it's called Scorched Lightning. Okay, and I just wanted to mention a couple things. There's a 3D tournament tomorrow, and I'm thinking of shooting it, and I haven't shot it other than like the videos you saw this in. And just wanted to let you know, if you own a self bow and you have, especially if you have a short draw, you know how guys like to come over, oh, let me see that, and the first thing they want to do is they want to pull back the bow. And make sure you watch your bows, your self bows. If you have them tilted like I do, for this one here it's 26.5, or I tilted it to 27, let's say, and you get a guy that comes along with a 30-inch draw, or guys say, oh, I have a short draw, and they really don't have a clue what their draw is, and they pull this little bow back to 30 inches, they're liable to blow it apart. And your week's worth of hard work to make this bow snapped because somebody pulled it back too far. So I just wanted to, you know, mention that if you have a self bow, make sure you guard it. Tell people, explain to them, you know, listen, you can't pull this one back because you have a longer draw length and it's only tailored to my draw length. And if you pull it back, you're gonna bust it on me. All right, so anyway, there's a 3D tournament at Pinewood Arches tomorrow, and I hate the heat. I may go, may not go, but I want to take a couple of shots. There's a lot of shots that the furthest are 25 yards, but there's a few at 25 yards and closer. So all I want to do today is just see how I shoot, take a couple of shots. Okay, I want to be that shooting machine, okay? Hang on a second, I'm going to reposition this stand a little bit better. These are gold tip Entrada 700 spine arrows, and they have 75 grain tips, but I think what I'm going to do later is just add a 5 grain washer and make it 80 grains, because they seem to be, as I shoot them, they go a little to the left, and I think that 5 grain washer will just straighten them out a little bit. Okay, so I believe it's 29.5 inches. Okay, these are 3D arrows. They're very light. They are 5.4 grains per inch. You don't want to use them for hunting, just 3D. Okay, let me just go over this one more time for you. When you shoot, you want to be a shooting machine. No matter what style you shoot, how you shoot, you want to come up, touch your anchor, okay, elbow all the way back, no chicken wing, elbow all the way back. When you're back all the way with your elbow, squeeze your back a little more, make sure it's back so you feel that back tension. With a self bow, or bow not cut past center, you want to keep it with the natural cant. Look, every time I throw my hand up, you see there's a little bit of an angle, and that's a natural angle. It's repeatable in your mind without even thinking about how to do it. Just throw your hand up and you see that little angle, and draw the string and lean your head into that angle, okay? There's a few things that I teach, and I've been making bows, so I want to just go over them again. There's things called, one is things I don't want you to do is no peeking. So when you're looking, right, and you're looking, oh, there's the deer I want to shoot, or there's the target, and you release, and you drop your arm, okay, you drop your arm because you want to watch the arrow hit it. The arrow didn't clear the shelf, and you shoot underneath it. You shoot right underneath the deer. A lot of times when guys miss, say, I practice 20 yards all the time and I shot underneath the deer, I can't understand what happened. And what happened is they wanted to watch the arrow consciously or unconsciously, and they dropped their arm. So there's things I say. You have to trust the shot. Trust the shot. When you're back at anchor, you touch an anchor and you got your point where it has to be, or you're shooting instinctive, right? Keep your hand up and touch that anchor before you release. Be a shooting machine. You got to trust the shot. Say, I don't have to move or drop my arm to watch the arrow. It's going to hit, okay? The other thing is no plucking, no peeking. And peeking is a deliberate looking at the arrow to watch it hit your target. No plucking. Your hand comes off your face. A lot of guys pluck, and it's because they got pulled back. They got such a heavy bow. Sometimes they're gonna just. But even if you have a heavy bow, if you come back and touch your hand, feel the pressure on your face. Elbow all the way back. When you release, if you use back tension, slide your hand against your face, maintain that pressure, okay? If you shoot static like I do and you come back, maintain pressure. If you're gonna snap shoot, right? There's guys that's what they do and they do very well with it, but you come back, you touch that anchor, and when you let go, as soon as you touch the anchor, instead of flinging your hand out, come back, touch anchor, let go, but keep your hand there. All right, practice keeping your hand there. And because if you pluck and you're right-handed, the arrows go to the left, okay? What happens if your arrows go to the right, like, you know, once you're shooting and you're on, arrows go to the right, a lot of guys like to shoot with a loose grip. And when they release, you don't want to drop your bow, right? So what do? They grab the bow so they don't drop it upon release. And you see how the arrow goes? So if you're a right-handed shooter and you keep a loose grip and you grab the bow when you release, you'll have arrows to the right. Okay, it's opposite. All this is opposite for a lefty. So I tell everybody, if you're going to shoot with a loose grip, have a finger sling. If not, I don't care what anybody says. I've been doing this for a long time. You know, I've been coaching kids and everything, Junior Olympics, the whole bit. I have my own theory on this stuff, but when you come back and you got a self bow, if you're going to shoot, okay, and you don't wear a finger sling, once you're back and the bow goes in that pad, right? Once you're back and on target, gently hold the bow. Squeeze your hand closed and hold it there. I want you to hold it. And when you release, I want you to maintain it so it stays there, okay? Until you hear it hit the target. All right, go on World Archery and watch the Olympics. Some things, like form things, certain aspects are the same as what we do. And consistency. So if you watch them, you can watch when they release, they shoot underneath like this because they need the distance, the Olympic archers, and they slide their hand along their jawbone. Okay? And if you watch, you see their face ripple because they maintain pressure along their jawbone. Well, with us, you know, we shoot these tournaments and all 25, 30 yards maybe. We hunt and it's usually 20 and under for most of us. Unless you're out west and you practice a lot, you know, for like an antelope or something out of water and hole. But maintain that pressure. It'll keep you from plucking. Okay, no chicken wing, elbow all the way back, feel the back tension, and when you release, keep your hand there. And that'll stop the plucking. Okay, so no peeking, no plucking, and no dropping your arm. Dropping your arm is a little different than peeking. What happens is you're halfway through the course and you've been shooting a bow. Some guys shoot these heavy bows, or even if you're just fatigued and you got a little 35-pound bow and you're tired at the end. And when you're up and you touch back anchor and you got it on and you're just like so tired, you let go and your arm goes down. It's not that you're watching the arrow, it's just that you're not keeping your arm up because you're tired. And you gotta be strong for like 2 seconds. When I used to teach the little kids, and I tell them, you gotta be strong. Put on a mean face. And that's right, put that mean face on just for a second. When you touch anchor, put the mean face on and release, and don't move until you hit the target. And it works. And then they have a big smile that they hit, you know. So no peeking, no plucking, no dropping your arm, okay? Be a shooting machine. Trust the shot. Okay, so let's see, I'm gonna see if I can do all that I talk the talk. Let's see if I can walk the walk. We're at the 25 yards, I'm gonna try and be a shooting machine. Okay. Now with this, I'm gap shooting. And when I touch anchor, I'm gonna put it on the top of the back of the deer target. And then what I'll do is if I'm shooting a groundhog, I have to look at where the kill area is on the groundhog or the skunk or whatever and say, okay, if that was the deer's back, I'd have to go maybe a soda can higher than the head or something. You know, I have to go that distance. You figure it out in your head. After a while, you could just, you know, and that's kind of where it's instinctive, kind of like you're figuring out where to hit. but you see, like Howard Hill used to use split vision. Okay, he saw the arrow, but he focused on the target, okay? So I won't get into all that. Here we go, 25 yards. Okay, 25 yards, I hit it. It might be a hair low, but that's okay. I haven't shot this bow in a long time. Hand up, hand against my face. And let's go to 20 yards. I don't want to make this too boring for you. I'm only going to take a couple of shots. Okay, but I just wanted to go over a little form, and it don't matter what kind of bow you got. Man, this was a live tree, you know, a few weeks ago, a month ago, and I'm shooting it, and the form is the same. Okay, a little hot, man, a little hot. So we're at 20 yards now. Let's see. I'm going to try point on at 20 just to see. Okay, not bad, not bad. If your arrows tend to go, I haven't really tuned arrows to this bow, but if your arrows tend to group a little to the left, all right, sometimes they're a little stiff, and if you add a 5-grain washer, I know it sounds crazy, just a little 5-grain washer sometimes, it'll move it over. Especially when you have a hunk of wood, you're shooting a self bow, and I have the thinnest pad they got. You can't go any thinner. That's it, other than sanding. You don't want to sand this past center. Okay, so now we're gonna go to 15 yards, and I'm gonna show you a little trick too. I don't know if we're gonna do it at 15 or not, but let's see. Okay, here we are at 15 yards. And what I'm going to do is touch the belly of the deer, because the arrow should rise. But what I'm thinking of doing is touching the lower third a little higher, not really the belly, just a little higher. Let's try the lower third. And that lower third did it. And you see I try to maintain everything, try to be that shooting machine. Now there's something, a technique I want to show you. It's called looking down the arrow. And it don't really work with glasses. But I'm going to try it now with no glasses, and we're going to see. I'm going to pull back, touch my face, and then I'm going to touch, see the corner of my mouth? It's the corner of my eye here. See, watch. I'm looking down the arrow. See? And I put it right on. You see where it went on the bear? So I know from 10 yards closer, I can just put the point on looking down the arrow. And that's my little cheat. Now I'm going to see for 15 yards, I'm going to shoot that little raccoon looking down the arrow. But I'm going to put it on top of the X because it's a little further, and I want to see if I hit that little raccoon. Okay, I hit that little raccoon, just went a little to the, tiny little bit to the left. Okay, that could be me. So anyway, that's the end of this video. I just haven't shot in a long time. I wanted to show you this bow shooting. And if I go to a 3D tournament tomorrow, I know I'll be hitting, okay? I want to discuss those few things with you. No peeking, no plucking, no dropping your arm. And I wanted to discuss looking down the arrow. So watch my other videos, like and subscribe to Bear Bow Joe. Every day you wake up is a good day. You keep on watching, you never know what I post.